Good evening and welcome to Sterling High School Nightly News. We're your anchors, Alexis, Sant, Caitlin, Oden, and Julia Wohler. Today we will cover important topics of college prep, human trafficking service project, lunch offerings, a look into the real world, and to close, an inspiring story of back-to-back state champions. For more on college tips, we'll go over to Caitlin Oden. Caitlin?
College can be intimidating, but when you have some preparation, it's not as bad. Tina Wohler, Sterling High School student counselor, is here to give some useful tips on how to prepare for college.
I think the biggest thing, even as a freshman or sophomore, you can start going to college fairs, career fairs, and the nice thing about those are you get to see what type of colleges are out there. I would then also explore what your interests are, while you're in high school. See what you like, what subjects you like, what, areas of careers that you might like. And then you're going to see what careers that you're interested in and then go and find what colleges or higher ed, schools there are out there. We also we want you to prepare to take the ACT. ACTs can help you get into colleges, but also to get scholarships. We recommend taking campus visits. So that's where you go for a campus visit, you see a faculty member of someone that you're interested in majoring in, and you actually talk to somebody about that. And then take a tour of the campus, go to the dorms, go to the cafeteria, go to the classrooms, and you see if that college is the right size for you and has what you're looking for.
If you're planning on going to college, these tips can be very useful. There have been some impactful service projects done in our community lately. For more on that, we'll head over to Julia Wohler. Julia?
Faith Eckert and Kylie Letterall have done a few community service projects for FBLA in the last couple of years. Today, they will be talking about their community service.
Our goal is to help raise money to help end human trafficking and also educate people in our community. And the way that we did this was we held a series of 3 different fundraisers. So we had a penny drive within our school building, and then we hosted a fun run. It was the Broadway Christmas Dash. And then the third thing we did was we brought in a speaker from the Kansas City area, I think, and he came and spoke about how human trafficking can happen in a small community like ours. And then we had a dessert bar where people had donations. And then the speaker also spoke to our whole student body.
For us, this project was very eye-opening. We learned a lot about human trafficking and how common it is for just like in small areas like where we live. It was also very impactful for how we got to connect with our community too through our different fundraising events, so that was really cool. And then overall, our community, it impacted at least 311 community members because that was how many people we had in total at all of our fundraisers. And we earned a total of $1,084 to send to the Tim Tebow Foundation, which we partnered with to help end human trafficking.
This project has been very eye-opening for people in our community. Our school lunch ladies work hard to prepare a well-balanced, but also an appetizing meal. A majority of the food we eat has been homemade and prepared beforehand, which is an easy job. Sandy Scooches is our head cook and is retiring this year. Let's hear what she has to say about the preparation for week of school lunches.
Planning a menu for a week, I have to make sure certain components are in there. And those components would be dark green vegetables, so you see lettuce, you see broccoli, it has to be red orange, so you're going to see things that have tomato products like spaghetti sauce. I have to have beans once a week. I have to have those in my menus each week. If I do not, I am out of compliance. I have to serve a certain amount of whole grain, so I have a lot of constraints in planning a menu. Another part of it, which isn't in the requirements, we don't want a meal that's all little round things like chicken nuggets and tater tots and peas. We don't want a brown and yellow meal, so I'm trying to always make sure there's some things of color to make it pretty. I have to also keep in mind when my deliveries come, who I buy what from, make sure I have it here in time, make sure they're not out. What's my plan going to be if it doesn't arrive?
We are very grateful for our lunch staff. Let's go back to Julia on more onto the real world.
Figuring out what you want to do in life is a big decision. It's important to know what you are going to be getting into. We are back with Tina Wohler to get a look into what you have to do to prepare for the military and ways to get ready for the real world.
There really isn't any school you have to attend. I would recommend that our students go to the Counselor's Corner and pull up the military section, and they can research different militaries. If they go to career fairs, they can go to the military booths as well to ask questions. I recommend that students would take the ASVAB. It's sort of a placement testing, and from the ASVAB, it's a military test. It tells the students what they're good at, and the military would then maybe recruit students to be different areas within the military. The best way to get ready for the real world is definitely getting a part-time job in the summer or after school, getting involved in activities in school, sports. I would also recommend there's mock interviews. It sort of helps them prepare for interviewing. We also do job shadow days, time management, how to work with people, how to be a good team member, how to keep your cell phone away and just be a good employee. It's those kind of skills that students can do all the time.
There was a lot of good advice given to look into right there. We'll head over to Caitlin for a story on back-to-back state champions.
Sterling High School's recently retired girls basketball coach, Jill Rowland, has made an impact in our school and community. She led her team to victory by winning the 2A Girls State Basketball Championship not once but 2 consecutive years. It takes a great amount of motivating and dedication to do this. Let's hear what Coach Rowland has to say about her team's chemistry, how they kept up the wins, and how it felt to win back-to-back state championships.
First year, I would say our team chemistry at the beginning of the year was way better. The start of our second season, we did not have very good team chemistry at all. And to the credit of my players, we challenged them on that, and they rose to the challenge, and they were able to get their team chemistry going and win another state championship, which is pretty difficult to do. So the main thing was to challenge them continually. We'd get in a run of games where we weren't challenged, and we would win too easy, and that's pretty dangerous. You can't give them this many points, this number of turnovers, and so every stat line we kind of had a challenge for, and I think you have to do those things. I like to win. The kids that played for me, they like to win, and if those aren't factors, it's very difficult to make kids competitive. Yeah, winning's fun, especially state. So
That's all for SHS Nightly News. Thanks for tuning in, and good night.